We know in this country, whoever controls the narrative has the power. And right now, y'all, we are not controlling the vehicles, the systems and structures that cultivate and perpetuate what we see on television. That's coming from mass media, and they're fueling and feeding certain narratives. But this narrative tonight are young kings that had the audacity to go out and interview people in our community. So we gotta learn how to take back our space, right? And tap into what our ancestors have left within us. That is the true gift, and that's what you're gonna be experiencing here today, is storytelling, culture, and community.
So this is a legacy project. As Chris was saying, the storytelling that we're doing is about listening. It's about connecting with one another on a much deeper level, perhaps, than we have before or even feel comfortable with. It's about being open to having our own biases and prejudices examined, and ideally being able to move past them, because we begin to see people for the humans that they are, right? Not the stories that we've been told, but the stories that are unfolding right in front of us, in front of our very eyes, in front of our very ears. So that's what this work is all about. Again, we're so happy to be back 12 years later with Griots of Oakland 2024, Volume 2.
The Griots of Oakland, again, the book 12 years ago when we were in the district of Oakland working with African American male achievement. Sister Angela came up to us and wanted to do an oral history project. And from there, we have a book from that with, again, Brother Naquan and Jarvis. As we enter 12 years later, when they were in high school, and now a book 12 years later, that means it's a full cycle of school, right? You start kindergarten and 12th grade. So now, young Brother Clayton representing for this book this year, one of the kings at McClymonds High School. So now we can see, as you can look back 12 years ago, with these young brothers stepping into your shoes, let's see how that connection is to continue the strong cycle of telling our story.
I'm Clayton Brennan. I'm a 12th grader at McClymonds High School.
My name is Jarvis Wilson Henry. I was in Brush Shoes like 12, 13 years ago, I think, or something like that.
My name is Naquan Taylor. Like Jarvis was stating, we did this about 12, 13 years ago. I was the youngest during that time. I was a sophomore in high school. We was just starting out. We didn't know what we was doing. I was really shy. I wasn't the person I am today. I was really camera shy. I couldn't even do this on a mic. As much as we went out and interviewed people, I was shy to even be on the mic. And now today I have the confidence to be a griot and tell a story.
What was the experience like for you to get trained in oral history and then to actually go out and conduct the interviews?
To be trained in it, it was more of being able to feel like I can express myself more and figure out ways to communicate with other people. With going out and doing interviews, it allowed me to learn more about my peers who also go to MAC. And I found out more about people and like what they've gone through, and it made me understand people more.
The experience for me, it was eye-opening to hear what other people in my community thought about themselves. Because, every day, back then we would hear so much stuff on the news. Still to this day, it's so much stuff on the news that's dehumanizing us. And every day we don't live like that. So being able to write our own journeys and write our own stories and tell our own stories is what really opened my eyes and really stood out for me during this project.
My experience was pretty dope back then, 12 years ago. Working with camera equipment and stuff like that, and like learning how to like catch that right angle, and really ask them those penetrating questions to really get to the root of like what's really going on in Oakland, what's really going on in the town for real. And I didn't really have any idea of like how to do that or like what type of follow-up questions to ask until I started going through this program, with Angela and everybody else. So that was what I kind of got from it. I really got to experience, how to communicate effectively and get across to those people that, I'm trying to get that story from.
I would say something that really stood out during interviews was figuring out how other black men and just black people in general feel about living in Oakland now and how they feel about living in the world. And it opened my eyes to we all have pretty much the similar experience.
The networking, the unity, talking and being able to communicate to people, what it is that, you're trying to do and how can we get here together, how can we be successful together and stuff like that. So that was something that I really was very close-minded to or whatever. Back when I first started this 12 years ago, I didn't talk to nobody. I was just kind of to myself, staying in my own lane. But now that I've gotten older, I definitely be networking, I definitely be, trying to be my brother's keeper and stuff like that and, elevate us together because, we're stronger together and that's what I believe.
Seeing 10 years later that this book is being revamped and re-involved is really inspiring because when we was doing this, that's what we was looking for. And knowing that the youth still is looking for that opportunity to get our voices heard, that I feel really inspired.
All of you inspire me, just for you to have the courage to get up there and go from being shy to becoming very vociferous, and Brother Clayton to become a leader, and everybody kind of see him now as a senior at Mac, and really people following him all the time. And Brother Jarvis too, just continuing to think big and dream big and continue on your way. So thank you all for your time, and thank you for continuing this legacy. Special hands for, again, the Griots of Oakland 2012-2024 Story for All, Angela Zussman, to help publish and put this all together, and always the vision of Baba C, Brother Chris, for making this happen.